What's good? This is Marcus the Fingers back at it again with a message for this week. This is actually the message for last week, but I was doing so much, making some moves out there in Vegas that I didn't even get to record the message for last week. But if you are missing out, definitely go sign up for my weekly newsletter where you get the messages every Tuesday. Go to defingers.com/email, defingers.com/email. Sign up for my weekly newsletter where I'm sharing these ideas to my weekly subscribers. But I also share it on my blog and in these videos here. So here we go. First, this message was all about why networking is a great long-term skill to learn. So let's talk about it. Let's talk more about networking because we've talked about it in the past. I've talked about it in past blogs. I've talked about it in my newsletters, and I'm going to be talking more about it. I might even do a course on it, on how I network as a creative. But I have to bring it up from this new perspective that I gained last week, and here's why networking is a great long-term skill to learn. My family and I were on vacation in Las Vegas last week, and that was our second time going out there in a few months. With the first time we went to take our daughter to an Usher concert, and I was able to make some great connections out there then. And then we went, a month later or a couple weeks, I forgot how much time later, which was last week, and I was able to build more on those connections that I made the first time and also make some new connections. So, those connections that I made, I was able to enhance. And this time around, I was able to connect and network even more. And here is just one example of how I use that networking. And maybe this will help someone else bring some of those ideas to your networking. Patrick Hunley, a.k.a. Pat or Pat 'em Down EQ on Instagram, recently worked on several tracks on Kanye West's latest album, Donda. He had probably half the tracks on there. I might get the number wrong, but he worked on a lot of tracks on there. So definitely follow Pat 'em Down EQ, PATEMDOWN EQ on Instagram. The day after the album was released, I somehow ended up in Pat's studio in Las Vegas, just vibing and making music with him and his team. So how did that happen? Let me tell you the story of how that happened. It probably started a while ago. I wish I could cue some effects. I can probably do it in the video, but I can cue some effects and dream background flashback. But it started a while ago. Earlier last year, this is 20? I don't know what year it is right now. Last year, I connected with Pat on social media, sending him beats and links to check out for artists that he was working with, piano remix I did for Javaya. I'll include a link to one of those in the description or maybe in one of these corners here on YouTube. But I did a piano remix to a song, one of the artists he works with, Javaya Ward. Check her out. She's dope. And then eventually I learned that he was out in Vegas working. He had a studio set up out there. And when time came to start planning a trip out there to take our daughter to Usher's concert, which is a whole nother video, a whole nother talk, I knew that I wanted to link with Pat and his team while I was out there that first time. Unfortunately, it didn't happen the first time, but I did have Pat's information. And he was like, yo, just hit me up when you're in town. And I was like, we might be back in a few weeks, in a few months or whatever. And it turns out we ended up going back and I was able to connect with him. So a few months later, which was last week, I was able to get on his schedule. And the day before, I think it was that Monday, the first day out there. We got in on Sunday. I actually had to work on Monday a few hours, and I was like, okay, I'll be off of work by the time I'll be off work. It'll be 1 o'clock there on the West Coast, and I'll be done with work here on the East Coast. But I was in the West Coast. It's kind of weird, but he was like, yo, let's meet up. So I was able to link the schedules together, and one day after he was on the #1 album in over 150 countries that he worked on, I had the opportunity to spend a day with him, his team, making some great music, making some great connections. So that is the long story. Why is networking a great skill to learn? Because for me, I might not be the best musician. There are musicians that I follow that are incredible, that are insane. I might not be the best audio engineer. There are engineers that I follow that are incredible, that are insane. And you might not be the best, whatever, insert your word. You might not be the best accountant or taxidermist, whatever that is, or archaeologist or scientist. But if you are the person that other people like being around, that can open many more doors than just being the best. I will say that one more time. If you are the person that other people like being around, that can open so many more doors than just being the best whatever in the world. So let's get out there. Let's get to networking. Have a great week. Actually, before I end this video, I want to thank everyone who voted for me in the Sean Garrett Looking for Legends contest. If you missed it, Sean Garrett is an incredible songwriter, producer, vocal arranger, and I've been trying to make some connections with him also. And there's still time to vote. I don't know if I'm eligible for this contest because it is open for, I believe, artists like rappers, singers. I entered as a producer, just threw my hat in the ring. I will include a link in the description or somewhere where you can click the link and try to vote. There's been some issues with the link not working for some people, but I thank you all for the support. Either way, I already know that there's going to be some great hits made between me and Sean Garrett working together, whether it's 1 year from now, whether it's 1 day from now, or 10 or 15 years from now. It's going to happen. I just putting it out there. It's going to happen, sooner or later. So thank you for your vote. Thank you for the support. Let's get out there. Let's network. Be safe and be well, everyone. All right. Peace.